didn't care anymore. I wanted everyone who had ever wronged me to suffer the same way I had.
I can make that happen.
A voice rang out.
I can curse them for you, my dear.
It was a woman's voice, muffled like there were several walls between me and her. Who's there? I swiped up my candlestick, thrusting it forward to the sides behind me, but there was no one else around.
Give it a little thought. It's not that difficult. And when you figure it out, come to me. I have been waiting for so long for someone like you. Someone with such hatred for the world.
How am I supposed to know who you are?
How could you not, my dear? You visited me so many times. Held me in your arms, whispered poor child into my ear again and again.
What? No, that's not possible. I see. I finally, truly lost my mind.
If that's what you wish to believe, that's your choice. But the way I see it, if you had truly lost your mind, you wouldn't be in so much pain.
The voice, still muffled and unclear, seemed to be coming from somewhere far away and very close by at the same time.
Find your way to me and open the door once more. Let me out of my cage. Give me your hand.
I knew in the back of my mind that it was all absurd, but nonetheless, I did as the voice said. I let myself be drawn in by the pleasant whispers. The archangel stood proudly upon his glass perch, looking down at me. His gaze almost seemed judgmental, no pun intended. But I marched for the tower, unconcerned.
For so long I have been waiting for the day I would be rid of this darkness, for the day someone would truly set me free. When you arrived at this house, I felt the hands of fate at work. That you were led here, that you were meant to come to this place.
Wait. Yes.
You've been through so much to get here. I know your pain. I know how it feels to be locked up, to be tortured and used for others' gain. You are the only one to ever have pity for me, and I shall be the only one to have compassion for you. You are the only one to stay at my side, and I shall do the same for you. You can give me life again. You can resurrect me. Now, open the door, Michelle.
I felt like I was no longer in control of my own body. Her voice was tender in a way unlike Mother's or Amy's. Her voice was tender in a way unlike either Mother's or Amy's. Enticingly so. Standing at the top of the observation tower, I pushed open the door. and the first thing I saw was the ray of light shining through the window, and nothing else.
Thank you for opening the door.
It was empty. The skeleton, which had been sitting there as long as I had been in this house. The skeleton, which had been sitting there as long as I had been at this house, had vanished without a trace. I spun around, my gaze darting back and forth across the chamber, but there was no one there. Only her voice whispering in my ear.
You made this possible. You gave me the chance to have my revenge.
Revenge?
Now I can make those men suffer a hell even worse than the one they put me through. Constant, everlasting despair. Their flesh may turn to dust, but so long as their souls live on, their torture will know no end.
The tenderness of her voice crumbled away, leaving only raw loathing behind. She then let out a half-muffled cackle. Who are you?
Oh, you poor dear. They locked you up here without telling you whose house it was. You sad, pathetic thing. Though that's exactly the kind of person I needed.
You're not the witch, are you? The witch? You're not the witch, are you? Ooh.
That I am. I am the cursed witch who loathes this puny, wretched world, curses it. And my name is Morgana.
Morgana? I assumed the witch was nothing but a legend, a tale.
If you don't believe me, I would be happy to show you. Let's see. I could place a curse on someone you have a grudge against, drag them down into a dark abyss. You are the one who granted me freedom, after all. Sympathized with me, pitied me, appreciated me. You happily embraced my filthy corpse. And for that, I will grant you your wish. Wishes can come true, Michelle. Much the same way I was able to come back to life. If you remain steadfast in your desires, they will become reality. For devotion and yearning are the fountain from which miracles spring. I cannot leave the mansion's grounds, but that is but a minor inconvenience. Tell me who you wish to curse, and I can lead them here. I can force you to I can force the cross you were made to bear onto them. I believe in my power to perform miracles because you made my miracle a reality. So tell me, my dear, who will be first? Your second brother who made that ridiculous painting?
George.
Shall we kill him? He deserves at least that. He brought you more than enough pain. But if you would rather, you could curse your mother instead, or the woman who set you on this path. Or perhaps you would prefer your father. With him gone, you could return home. Ask and I will perform a miracle for you.
I didn't think she was lying either. As ridiculous as the whole affair sounded, the skeleton had disappeared from the tower, and I was hearing a disembodied voice. But beyond that, the voice seemed to have a sort of magnetism to it. If magic truly did exist in this world, then her words were laced with it. There was a power in her voice, something that repelled any instinct I might have to doubt the things she said. So I, on the verge of losing my grasp on reason altogether, believed every word the witch said. I wanted to curse them, to curse my brothers, mother, father, Amy. And the witch was saying I could do precisely that.
What will it be, my dear? There is no price. I don't require a sacrifice or a dark ritual to perform my magic. I simply wish to show my gratitude. I want you to have that which you desire. Who do you want to curse?
The witch's sweet whispers hung in the air for a brief moment before wisping away. All the muscles in my body tensed up. I felt woozy, like the floor was wobbling beneath me. It took everything I had not to fall over. Who did I want to curse?
Oh, and you are welcome to choose more than one. All of them, even.
I could curse them, and the witch would kill my family. I would be free. No one would know I had been born female.
Why don't you become the new head of the estate?
Why don't? Okay. Who would I curse? Who would I kill? Didier, Georges, mother, father, Amy? All of them? They had exiled me to this place.
Have your revenge.
A black butterfly fluttered across the room's single shaft of light. As I stared absently up at it, dozens of memories, of emotions, flashed through my mind.
But at the end of the day, we're family. We can get past anything.
With enough time, everything will go back to the way it was before, just like it did for myself and Georges. I don't understand. Why would I think about them now? They've abandoned me. Left me in that room for 2 years, and then left me here for 8 more. They don't care whether I'm alive or dead. So why should I? Why should I?
Have you made up your mind?
I have.
Then tell me, my dear, who will it be? Who will you curse?
No one. I cannot curse anyone, Morgana.
Surely you jest. I know just how much you wish to see them dead. I felt all your hatred, your despair, and you mean to tell me you can't curse them?
It struck me just now that I can't do that to family. I cannot curse my own family.
This is the family that cast you aside, labeled you cursed, made you suffer for years, and then locked you away in this remote mansion. And they don't feel even the slightest bit remorseful about any of it.
I understand that. I know that they don't give the same weight to their words as I do. I figured that out long ago. Man, I relate to that. To people not considering the weight of their words as much as I might. Them speaking to me and to others. I know I'm alone in my prayers, that they don't want the same things I do. that I trusted them more than they ever deserved.
So why then can you not curse them?
Because I don't want to hate them. I don't want to bring them suffering. On the contrary, I want them to be happy.
You have no place in that happiness, though. It is a happiness that rests upon your misfortune. Why then should you not drag them down so you can find respite for yourself?
I would find no respite by cursing them.
How can you be so sure of that, my dear? I most certainly found a great deal of it myself. You're trying to follow your conscience, I can see that. But that good is superficial, and all it does is shackle you. Remove the shackles, and everything will be so much easier.
Honestly, I am not for killing people, especially not non-cops, non-government officials. You could argue nobles were basically that of this time. So I would say he would be in the totally... It's obvious that it would be bad for him psychologically in his state, at his point in development, to go through with this. But I think from just a purely objective standpoint, him killing his mom and dad, maybe not Amy, because she's a kid. Well, she's an adult now, but who knows how she might have shaken out if she was given another chance. Kill mom and dad. You're totally justified in doing that. I think that would resolve a lot of his problems if he came back right now after his mom and dad died. It wouldn't be perfect. It would not be a neat and tidy resolution to his story, to his troubles. But it would be a valid path. And it is truly, I think, commendable that he really sticks to his guns. And he would tell you that he's not altruistic in the slightest, and he just wants to find peace in himself. And that's true. And that's why he's such a good, complex, well-written character. Nothing you say can convince me to kill my family.
Why not someone who isn't family, then? Surely you can think of at least one person who would like to see you dead. Surely you can think of at least one person you would like to see dead.
Oh, I most certainly can. I would kill her 12 times and it wouldn't be enough. But just because I would be happy with her death doesn't mean there aren't people who would be sad to lose her. Remove any one person from that group and the whole thing could come crashing down, all because I couldn't restrain my own hatred.
Your concern for them will devour you.
Don't think I'm not aware of that.
You aren't. You don't know them at all. The only reason you give them any consideration is because deep down you still have hope. But hope was a way of forsaking those who... But hope has a way of forsaking those who give it home. You have a problem, and you need to take care of it before it kills you. You and I, we were cut from the same cloth. While you may still care for your family now, in time you will come to curse them. Consider that a warning, Michelle. Your hatred, your curse, is what brought me back to life, and there is no getting around that. We do have plenty of time, though. No need to rush to a decision. I'll show you what it is you truly desire deep, deep down. And I'll show you again and again until you finally acknowledge it.
The black butterfly hovering by the window disappeared, and the witch's voice grew distant. Overwhelmed, I collapsed to the floor unconscious. Had I really said what I did out of love for my family? Or was I just afraid of crossing that line? Was Morgana right? Was my heart now home to a terrible monster? If I actually had resurrected the witch with my hatred, maybe that was what I was now. Darkness seeped down over me once more. I was again encased in a pool of despair. Slowly, ever so slowly, it wore away at me, eroding me into nothing. If I didn't come up for air, I soon would take the witch's offer. Cackling like a demon, I would place a curse on someone. I would kill them. Reviving her was a mistake I never should have made. And not for the greater good or anything so noble. No. Every time she spoke, a little more of my spirit died. A little more of my spirit died. From that day on, Morgana's voice became a constant fixture in my life. Curse them, kill them, curse them, she serenaded directly into my ear. No matter where I hid or how deep I put my fingers in my ears, her voice resounded directly in my head. Hearing an incessant stream of curses from a disembodied voice was so unreal, so unbelievable, that it felt as though I was being dragged away from the realm of humanity. There was an odd, unsettling magnetism in her voice, allowing her malevolence to seep into me. It was downright torturous.
Curse them. Revile them. Do you really need to be in your right mind, honestly? Your fixation on holding on to your sanity is what's causing you so much anguish. Admit it. There's more darkness, more seething malice inside you than anyone else. That's why you were the one who resurrected me. Admit it. You do want to curse them, don't you? You do want to kill them, don't you?
No, I don't! I don't want that at all! I've told you this already!
You're so desperate to deny it, Michelle. It can only mean that it's true. You would be able to maintain your calm if you were truly free of guilt.
I do not wish to kill Didier, or Georges, or Mother, or Father. I have no desire whatsoever to see them dead. Your constant babbling is messing with my head.
Be honest with yourself, Michelle.
That was not the best delivery on messing with my head, but whatever.
You do imagine what it would be like to hold their warm intestines on your hands, standing over their bodies.
No, I don't. That's not what I want.
Don't lie, Michelle. You climbed the tower. You opened the door. You sought me.
No, I wasn't in control.
No, Michelle, you were.
Enough! I'm done listening to you!
Now, don't take out your anger on inanimate objects, Michelle. Do you even know where I am?
Where are you?
I'm standing behind you. In front of you. Now, I'm beside you.
You're just playing around with me, Morgana. Mocking me for your own amusement.
Not at all, my dear. In fact, I consider you a close friend. Why would I mock someone who means so much to me?
We are not close.
You will come to understand in time that we are very much the same. And when you do, you will also know that I am the one person who truly understands you.
Enough. Enough. Enough!
Let it all go, Michelle. Curse it all with me. Despise it. Kill it. Make it suffer. Curse it.
Please, just stop!
And where might you be going, Michelle?
If he's breaking into a run. Please, just stop!
And where might you be going, Michelle? Wherever you run, I will always be by your side. Are you going to pray to God to exorcise me? Now that's quite amusing, considering I am it. Now that's quite amusing, considering I am the child.
That's silly that's cut off.
I'm not trying to hurt you, Michelle. On the contrary.
Stop talking. Please. Just stop.
I want to set you free from your misery.
I can't take it anymore. Please just be quiet. Oh. Who's there? I am here to deliver your monthly package. I see. What, Michelle? Is something the matter? So, if this is the same guy who lives in the cabin, or the cottage, then I caught on to this earlier when Michelle was speculating that, oh, you must have gone back to Mother and said my curse wasn't broken. But I was under the impression that the person who was at the cottage keeping an eye on Michelle delivering the packages to him was not a direct servant of the Bollinger estate. And that servant as well spelled his name Michel and believed him to be a man. I'm pretty sure. Well, he definitely spelled his name Michel. I'm 90% sure he believed Michelle to be a man. He just wasn't certain of the nature of his curse, I think. Either that's a mini plot hole, or it's just a different servant. I opened the door, and there stood a servant of the Bollinger estate. He seemed to be quite perturbed by the sight of me. I must have looked terrible. Morgana's voice, her words, sapped my spirit dry. A human. A normal person, not a witch or a spirit or a demon. I knew good and well that the servant would never do anything to help me. He wouldn't believe a word I said, but at that point, his humanity was enough for me to latch on to. The cottage servant, I believe, always, I think it might have been specified, he always leaves after leaving the package. He never says anything. But maybe this time he only said something because Michelle shouted, "Who's there?" I don't know. Help me, please. Pardon? The witch. She talks to me. She never stops talking. I'm begging you. Please get me out of here. Let me go back home in your carriage. Please let me go back. This might be a different servant, yeah. Maybe that'll be the plot. Is that they switch servants or something? I've forgotten. It's been so long since I've been on this part of the game. The witch's voice. It's killing me. It won't go away. I can't escape it. Please, I need your help. Yeah. You've gone mad. What? You're crazy. Ugh. See, this is why I didn't want this job. Having to deliver supplies to this damned cursed mansion. Having to get anywhere near the Bollinger's youngest child. No, I am perfectly sane. You sold your soul to the devil. Don't think I'm in the dark about that. No, I did no such thing. You're completely insane. No. I'm done with this damn job. It's not worth all the riches in the world. Not if it means I have to be around a lunatic like you for even a minute. I could have probably shouted that, but oh well. Why? I am not crazy. I am perfectly sane. I'm not mad. That was cheesy. I'm not mad.
Michelle, your mind is far, far from sound.
I won't hear it. I am not mad, damn it! I am not insane! I won't hear it! The witch spent nearly every waking moment of every day at my side, talking and talking and talking about how mean-spirited humans were, how ugly they were, an endless loop of vitriol, and she never seemed to tire of it either. Every single day, on and on and on. She also made a point of reminding me about myself, everything I was trying to get away from. But as much as I fought to ignore her, to not let the things she said in, she slipped past every wall I put up, her every word warping me. There was no escape.
Curse them. Revile them. Remember the things they did to you. Close your eyes and envision it. Remember the scorn in their eyes. The way their lips twisted as they laughed. You need only curse them, and you can wipe those reprehensible smirks out of existence.
I'm serious. Please stop this, Morgana. Please stop talking to me. I'm begging you. I seriously can't take it anymore.
Oh, now why would you say that, my dear? It's just the two of us in this gloomy old house. I don't see what's wrong with a little conversation.
Your voice, everything you say, is eating away at me.
I care for you, and everything I say is meant to help set you free. So I will continue saying it. You're allowed to hate the people who have wronged you. They don't deserve happiness. Someone who's always smiling for you is someone who's certain to betray you. Someone who values themselves above all will not hesitate to put others' lives on the line. Someone who covets wealth and power will sacrifice his friends and family to obtain it. These are the kinds of people you once surrounded yourself with.
I have told you repeatedly that I will not curse anyone.
Why must you be so stubborn, my dear?
I could ask you the same. Why won't you just leave me be?
Because I can't stand to see you like this. With one word, you could be free of your pain. But because you insist on shackling yourself to your idea of family, you're making yourself miserable. We are the same type of person, Michelle. The type who has the right to curse others. Regardless of what kind of childhood you had, or how much hatred it instilled in you, Michelle, you are a cursed man named after an angel. You need to realize how twisted you are, and soon.
I am not twisted.
Do you honestly still believe you are normal? Tell me, what's normal about someone who happily embraces a skeleton? Tell me, what's normal about someone who hacks away at a girl's face with a knife? Right out of breath. Tell me, what's normal about someone who hacks away at a girl's face with a knife? You are not normal, and I will repeat it as many times as I have to. You need to accept that. Why must you hold so tight to your sanity? If you would just let go, you wouldn't have to suffer. No one is going to come and save you, my dear. The only thing that can save you anymore is your loathing. We are the same.
I am nothing like you. I am not a witch. I'm not cursed. I'm human. I'm a human. I'm a human.
Man?
Yes, a man.
With that body? Oh, my dear friend. Let me tell you something you should be quite pleased to hear. Do you know what some people say? Do you know what some say about people like you, those who are neither male nor female? That they are like unto God.
Like unto God?
Indeed. You should have been worshipped. You should have been worshipped for your divinity. You should have been worshipped for your divinity, but instead your family cursed you. You are not human. From the second life was breathed into you, your fate was decided.
No, you're wrong.
If I really were wrong, you would not be here now. You would be back home with your family. Perhaps you would have a pretty little wife, living a normal, happy life together. But you have long since strayed from that path. It's well out of sight now.
I have not. I am human. I'm a person, a normal person. The youngest son of the Bollinger estate. I am an ordinary man. Not a single person believed me. Not even the witch was willing to consider me human, never mind my family. The archangel, whose name I shared, looked down on me. The witch tried to drag me into her world. My past constantly ate away at me. I had been imprisoned in this place for far too long. There was nothing I could do about my body. All of those things combined threatened to break me. I let out a scream and stumbled out of the room in a frenzy. I had to get out of that place. It didn't matter anymore that I was forbidden from leaving the property. I just wanted all of it out of sight. If they wouldn't let me come home, then I would run away. It was all I could do. I wanted to get myself anywhere that might have even the tiniest bit of light to share with me. I was desperate. Someone! Anyone! Please! Tell me I'm human! Tell me I'm a man! Tell me I'm a man! Anyone! Please tell me I'm not cursed! But when I opened the front door, searing light pierced my eyes. Ah! The world quickly went white. I couldn't see a thing. And then... my arm began to burn beneath the sunlight. Black smoke rose from the sizzling flesh. A sickening stench filled the air. Excruciating pain quickly spread to the rest of my body. Why am I... Water! I slammed the door shut, restoring darkness. Gasping and groaning, I trudged back into the house in search of water, which I'm sure the witch Morgana observed with a great deal of pity.
I don't think you're in need of any water. Take another look at yourself.
With what little light managed to worm its way into the corridors to guide me, I dragged myself to the chapel, stopping beneath the pale light shining through the stained glass window. How? I wasn't burned. In fact, my skin hadn't even turned the slightest bit pink. There was nothing wrong with me, as far as I could see. Where had that pain come from, then? And the distinct stench of burning flesh. This is your doing, isn't it, Morgana?
I know what you're experiencing. It's happened to me, too. Sometimes enough emotional distress and despair can cause physical pain. The mind and body are much more tightly linked than you think, and your mind is far more damaged than you know. You poor, poor thing. You have my sympathy, my dear. You sad little child.
Collapsed on the floor in front of the multicolored window, I felt like the whole world was closing in on me. Or perhaps metamorphosing around me. I was completely and utterly cornered, and there was no getting around that, which left me with only one option: to stop fighting and accept the harsh reality before me. It would make everything so much easier. The whole world said there was something wrong with me, and I was the only one who tried to deny it. So in the world's eyes, that meant there was something wrong with me. I was abnormal. I was irregular. I was mad. I was cursed. I was not human. I was not a man. If I'm not human or male, maybe I should just call myself a witch. I did, however, remain firm in my refusal to curse anyone, unwilling to give up that last piece of my humanity. Everything else I let go of, which took a great deal of weight off me. I stopped caring, and I stopped thinking. I stopped wanting someone to accept me, and I stopped wanting to run away. Sunlight no longer caused me agonizing unseen burns, but in exchange, I became emotionally empty. I discarded my faith and my hope, building a shell of cynicism and closing myself within it. A cocoon, if you will. And in time, that became my normal. I began to believe it was what I wanted. Tranquility filled my days. Time trudged onward at an almost imperceptible pace. Imperceptible pace. The witch's whispers no longer caused me aggravation. Essentially nothing of note happened over the next 2 years. At one point, a man with an unusual disease stumbled across the mansion while wandering through the forest. But there's little more to be said about that. For nothing at all could have convinced me to care about someone else. I spent much of my time sitting before the fireplace. I had covered the stained glass window with drapes, loath to even think about that damned archangel. Staring at the dancing flames, I was able to forget the passage of time, watching unblinking as the red and orange tongues flicked back and forth. Watching, unblinking, as the red and orange tongues flicked back and forth. They seemed to spread outward from the fireplace, consuming me, whether by the raging infernos of hell or the cleansing fires of purgatory. The thought of being swallowed up and burned to ashes by a massive conflagration was quite pleasant. Conflagration. Not sure how to pronounce that, or even what that means exactly. But those visions never became reality.
Tell me, Michelle, what are you thinking right now? What are you thinking right now? Do you still not want to curse them? Look at yourself, Michelle. Look at how you're living. Do you really want this life? Have you ever thought about dying? Michelle, would you like to die? That's the right answer. God has said that taking one's own life is a sin after all. That's good, Michelle. You've made the right decision. And I shall be there with you until the very end, my dear friend.
Honestly, part of me did desire death. I just didn't have enough energy to take my own life. My mind and spirit were too far decayed. However, in my 10th year, the door opened once more, and time sputtered back into motion. When you showed up, Giselle, everything I had given up on, and everything I thought I'd lost, it all came back. At first, as you know quite well, I was deeply mistrustful of you. I hated having you around, but if I hadn't met you, in all likelihood, I probably would have continued down that path and became a demon. I had actual tears in my eyes when that happened, when that fucking graphic showed up with the song. That's just flawless. Oh my god.
But you seem to me like a rather handsome man. I think I get what you're trying to say, but my mental image of a witch is definitely more a woman.
How do they do this? She's only been away for not even the full length of a door. And just seeing her face now, looking directly at the player. With this song, this text box graphic, silhouetted against our good friend Michael here, looking like she's holding the sword. Flawless! This is the best story ever written. Best story ever written.
So you're not a witch?
How many times can they show us variations of this scene of them being introduced to each other and have it hit equally hard every time?
To tell you the truth, I didn't know who might be here, which had me rather scared. But I think I can make this work. It's a pleasure to meet you, Master.
After taking care of Giselle, I returned to my room. I was, to be quite honest, dumbfounded. And it was naturally the witch who stoked the fire of my apprehension.
Why would you let that woman stay here? She came from the Bollinger estate, and we both know how you feel about your family. Chase her out. Give her a little scare and she'll be gone within the day. If you'd rather not, I could always frighten her in your place. A rattling window here, a couple broken glasses there. Small things like that to accentuate the eerie atmosphere. Are you going to say anything?
Why do you care about her at all?
Oh, now don't be like that. I live here too, so why shouldn't I care? And I am not fond of noisy people. Or sprightly women like that one.
Is that how you spell sprightly? Oh my god. I was spelling it like the fucking soft drink.
That's something we can both agree on, isn't it? You don't like that woman, do you? The more a person smiles, the less you can trust them.
Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to the subtitles in Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
And looking rather sprightly. Though I hardly have to tell you that, do I?
Maybe it's a British-American differentiation, if there is one. I don't know. Fucking whatever. Stop talking. Yeah, thank you, Michelle.
Now, that's not very polite.
This is a family matter. It is none of your concern.
I was merely offering to help rid you of a pest.
I don't need your help. I will get rid of that woman when I'm ready. But first, I will find out what secrets she's keeping. Then I will go back to living in peace.
Very well, then. That pest has no place in your sweet solitude. The world before you now is so much kinder, so much warmer than the one you used to know. Well, good luck then. And if you need a helping hand, don't hesitate to ask. Oh, and by the way,
What now?
you've changed, my dear. And I like you so much better like this. I always hated how much you reeked of human. You were blessed with a body like unto God. You were personally created by His hands. I could only dream of having what you have. But you only wanted to deny it. Now, though, you act the part much better. A saint resurrected by the closest living thing to God. Perhaps this too could be considered a miracle.
Morgana,
Yes.
you are a deranged, delusional woman.
Why, thank you.